Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you for a special segment. For those of you who stopped in for our dialogue on the Sunrise Project on men's health, as I helped to kick off Men's Health Month. Thank you guys for stopping in and contributing and sharing and everything. And I want to encourage all of our men to uh, make your health a priority, both physical and mental and emotional health a priority. It is so important. Look, it's Sunday morning. I'm sitting here chilling, but I want to talk to you about something I'm really, really, truly excited about. By now, you are aware of the rapid growth and expansion of AI models, especially the GPT model, but there are so many other models out there. And I want to talk to you and share with you real briefly some ways that you can literally take advantage of that and be aware of what's going on with AI. GPT just released its Model 4. There's a Model 5 already there, but it's so powerful and has so much capacity that literally Congress is blocking its release. But GPT-4 is on deck. It does some unbelievable and remarkable things. It can be scary when you look at what's possible, but it can also be very, very effective in helping you change the course of your life. When I first started to notice that, okay, it's coming, no matter what you think about it, no matter where you hold your stance on how ethical it is and all of that, I knew AI was on the way and that it was coming a lot sooner than most people anticipated. While tech and coding and programming isn't my thing, I know a number of people who are. I have a couple of clients who are, a couple of friends who have been in the game for years. And so I sit down and I talk to them about what it meant, what was going to happen. And I immediately start asking myself, okay, how do we leverage this? Because let me tell you something, it's going to be important to develop the ability to leverage this. And here's why. Goldman Sachs is predicting that the rise of AI will eliminate roughly 300 million jobs over the next year or so. And that's a lot of jobs in a very short period of time that are going to be completely eliminated. Let me give you an example of what we're talking about here. There are literally McDonald's now that are completely unmanned. I mean, completely. There's nobody there, but you can pull up order. It will fix your order and hand you the bag out the window. That's just that technology where we've got 18 wheelers driving across the country unmanned. Um, so you can start to see how this can go. And so the thing is, you start to become nervous about, okay, how do I fit in this? You have to learn how to leverage. I'm real big on getting ahead of trends. I'm real big on saying, okay, instead of becoming frightened by it, instead of trying to push back and fight it, how can I benefit from it? How can I learn from it? What can I do with it? And so what I decided to do was create a space to where I could teach it. Initially, I thought about doing another online course because that's what we're doing with Rick Wallace Enterprises and its subsidiaries. Is we're doing a lot of scalable transitions where we're moving out of time-intensive things that require me to be present and are limited by how many hours I have in a day to more scalable products and services that people can use without me. So more automation. So AI is right up my alley in doing that. But so initially I was going to do the online course. Then I decided, no, I want to do a dialogue. I want to create a conversation. I want to teach it. I want to bring value to it, but I want to create conversations. I want to bring people with minds and imaginations and creativity into a space where we can have conversations because I want to create networks. I want to help initiate relationships. I want people to come there thinking about what they're going to do, get an idea, have conversations and see someone. They say, man, I can work with that person. We're on the same channel, connect and create these conglomerate efforts that are going to really, truly help. Because my grandmother used to say something as a child growing up when she would help. And I'm like, okay, who's the goat head here? And she would just laugh. But what I want to do is I want to teach that. So what I'm going to do is actually have a webinar at the end of the month on the 30th. I'm going to do a 2-hour webinar My webinars always end up after ending still going because I love sharing with people. I love talking with people. I love answering questions, and my Q&As I always go over. So we're going to do this on the 30th. It's going to be a webinar. We're going to talk about content generation, creative works, uh, virtual assistants, gaming industry. Man, if you aren't aware of what's going on in the gaming industry, the number one revenue generators and revenue earners on YouTube are gamers. The gaming industry has this unbelievably massive capacity and it's still untapped, relatively speaking. How to get off into the gaming industry, how to use AI to create data augmentation, where you can generate AI can create synthetic data and training implementation, personalized products. I mean, you can write programs, you can create programs, you can help it develop plans and strategies, so many different things that you can use it for. You can use it as a service itself when you learn how to master it, training and consulting, so many different ways that you can put this thing together. And I started working with friends and a couple of clients probably, 4 years ago on ways to do this. And so as it started to release, when the first one released, I said, okay, not very robust, not very strong. 2 was okay. 3 started to say, wait a minute, what's going on? This stuff is real. 4, whole nother level. And then you got situations now where certain AI chat formats, speaking specifically about chat formats, have the ability to actually tap into the internet. So now you're not just taking something that was created and programmed and trained up to a particular point, like chat GPT, the original chat GPT-3 is programmed up to 2021. So if it's anything that's happened after 2021, it doesn't have the ability to consider it. But there are certain places like Right Sonic that has its own version of Chat GPT, but it has a 4 version, and it is capable of accessing the internet for the most latest data, research, information. You are literally in the middle of something that you can pretty much tell it to do what you want, train it to do what you want, train it to do it in using your personality and mind. It's unbelievable when you learn how to use this, how far you can take it. The natural thing to do with this thing is resist it, because it's not the normal thing. It's going to completely revolutionize the workforce. It's going to revolutionize how we do business, how we exchange goods. And those who are able to understand how to use it will benefit and profit for it. I want to help you do that. So what I did is I created this webinar. We are currently taking registration now. The registration will end on this weekend. This coming weekend will be the last day to register, or when we reach 50 people. I don't want a whole lot of people on, because I want people to be able to participate. I want people to be able to ask questions. I want people to be able to communicate. So 50 is where I think we can max out with that. So we're accepting the first 50 people. The webinar is $197, but this is what I'm going to do because I'm excited about it. My 7-day online business launch course, which is an online course I created to teach you how to create online opportunities or to start a complete business online. I'm going to give you that as a part of this registration. The reason being is, if you don't already have a business, I want you to be able to see what I'm going to teach you and then say, I can take this program and create a space where I can use this stuff, because you're going to want to take it the moment you get it and start doing something with it. And if you don't have a presence online, see, the beauty about it with me is by the time it started becoming a thing, I had a presence online. I had been online for a number of years, and I knew how things moved and operated, so I could immediately see how I can use that for this. I can use that for this. My mind's going 100 miles an hour, and it does every day, because I haven't even scratched the surface of all these different ways that I'm going to incorporate this into how I do business, so that I can provide a better service, a better product, and a less stressful situation for myself. Those who know me know that one of the things that I love doing is one-on-one consultations, whether it's therapeutic in mental health, mental illness, whether it's life strategist, like performance psychology, or life coach, whatever you want to call it, where I'm helping people go to the next level, whatever. I love doing those. I'm exceptionally successful at doing those. The problem is there's only so many hours in a day. So it's only so many people I can help. And there are a lot of people out there who cannot afford to work with me one-on-one that still should have an opportunity to get their lives in order. And then at some point, if they do it right, if they follow the things that I'm doing and present it to them, at some point they will be able to afford me and become one of the few selected people that I work with over the course of the year. This past year has been a scary part for me because I'm moving away from so many one-on-one. So that means turning down clients in order to build these programs, which means turning down revenue and cash flow in order to build these programs. But in order to be able to grow to where I want to grow my company, I can't sit in a box. And doing the one-on-ones is a box, but AI has really assisted and helping in so many different ways, and I haven't even scratched the surface. And I'm taking what these guys have taught me um, and learning all the different ways it can be done. And we just have these brainstorms on different ways it can be used. And I'm actually meeting with them later on today. Uh, well, two of them later on today. The other I talk to all the time. And so we are going to actually sit down and we're brainstorming, we're putting things together. And I want to open that up to you. Um, the thing is, we often think in the way of lack. So we are always looking for what we don't have and we miss what's out there. We miss the opportunity to seize things and we come in on the back door and we become frustrated and we operate from the idea of limitation. The thing is, we need to take the blinders off. We need to remove the glass ceiling. We need to understand that there is so much abundance out there and people are seizing it every day. And they're seizing it coming from places that are in many ways similar to where we come from. There isn't this thing where only they can do it. Now, some people are going to have advantages. Some people are going to have head starts because of the lifestyles they were born into, the families they were born into, the economic situations they were born into. But they are not inclusive and exclusive, and the opportunities aren't exclusive. It means that you have to be willing to put yourself in a situation to take advantage of these opportunities. I didn't come from a lot of money. My grandfather worked hard. We didn't struggle like a lot of the people in our community struggle. We never worried about the bills. The bills were paid every month. Nothing ever got turned off. We got a new car every so often. So we were probably lower middle class living in an impoverished environment, but I saw it a lot. But I didn't come from a lot of money. It wasn't, I had to, get a scholarship to college. And then I started to see things and I started to do things. But what I did have is a desire to be better, a desire to seize moments. I was encouraged by people who came around me to tap into my gifts, to look beyond my past experiences and where my parents come from. That was a start. That's not my reality. That's their reality. My reality is what I make it. And that's what I built a life on teaching people to do, is sitting up and writing a new narrative. Well, AI is going to be a powerful instrument in you being able to write a new narrative in your life. AI shouldn't be feared. It's definitely scary in some instances because it can be misused. It can be misused, and that's the thing about it. But the more people who are actively engaged in being responsible in its uses are going to help create a safe environment. It's like anything else. It's like a weapon. You take a gun. A gun is dangerous in the wrong hands. A gun is also a lifesaver in another hand, and a means and mechanisms for stress relief for those of us who simply want to go to the gun range and fire off a few to release stress. But so it's all about the responsibility of the person wielding the particular instrument. I have just seen so many different things. Like I've named a few that I called off that you're going to be able to do. AI as a service, training, consulting, data augmentation, content creation, artistic creation, and on down the line. All these things are ways of gaming, so many different things you can get into. But if you have a business, there's so many things you can do that's going to, number one, cut time massively, create a situation and cut out a lot of middlemen who are going to have to, again, recreate themselves. But the thing is, there's so many opportunities out there to express your gift. Your gift is your business. You or yourself are your greatest resource, not the capital, not the degrees, not all this other stuff that we go out and get and we say we need your resource, this thing between your head, however free and unleashed it becomes, will be the determining factor of what you're able to do in this life. And so my challenge to people all the time is free your mind. That's why I created the Mind Unleashed course. Free your mind, because when you free your mind will take you places that you haven't been. And if your mind can take you there, you can get there. Your imagination is the forerunner of your future. When you limit your imagination, and we tend to do that to our kids, reel it in, reel it in. That's unrealistic. Reel it in. Stop daydreaming. Get your head out the clouds. We're constantly trying to shrink them back in the box that we feel safe in. And what we do is over time, we lock them out of what they could have done. And then we reinforce the idea that this is all that can be done. The truth is, there's no limit. You couldn't tell anybody 35 years ago that I would have started 47 companies and brought them to profitability. You wouldn't tell them that I had as much success as I've had in academia. You couldn't tell them that I would have published 26 books with 27 and 28 on deck already, and no end in sight then, because it hadn't been done. And where I came from, all this stuff, that go get a job, show up, and nothing wrong with a job. It's definitely something wrong with a job that's killing you because of stress, killing you because you're not fulfilled, killing you because the people don't respect or value you and the gifts and the resources you bring to the table. It's definitely something wrong with that. It's definitely something wrong with not being paid your value in a job. And the problem is most rarely aren't. So when you're able to create your own space, are you able to tap in and look at things and you expand who you are by using the tools that are out there to your advantage? Then there's so much. So again, I've created this webinar. Again, it's one of the few times that I am actually going to be doing things. I'm going to be doing more conferences, doing live interviews, and things like I did on the Sunrise Project. Again, something that I'm so proud of. I've been with the Sunrise Project as a resident expert now for over 3 years. And when actually one of my clients founded this when her son attempted suicide several years back. And she brought me in for mental health, for specific focuses on Black men. And the thing is that I really want to get this home. And it's a little bit off course, but I really, really want this to sink in. I want this to be a learning moment, not just a promotional moment. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that Jesus did not do many miracles in his hometown. And when you understand that, it's because his miracles were driven by the faith of the people that he executed them for. He would always say, by your faith, you are healed. By your faith, it is so. And so what happens is the people in his hometown were familiar with him. To them, he was just the carpenter's son. And so what happens is when you're in an environment where everyone around you just knows you as the person, you may not be able to flourish. You may have to get out. And what I love about what I've been able to do, I've been able to speak in different countries. I have clients in different countries. And the thing is, I have very few clients in Houston. I have a lot of people call me and ask me for stuff and ask me to give them advice and stuff like that. And I do have clients in Houston, but I it's not like, okay, everybody. But what happens is this person recognized what was going on, brought me in. And the crazy thing is the podcast got picked up by the OWN network. And I had to go through a whole vetting process. They wanted to verify everything about me and all this stuff. And after it was done, we've been going strong. And again, this is just a kid from the inner city that decided that I wasn't going to stay in the box. And now my life has been helping people get out of the box. This webinar is going to be an opportunity to get out of the box. We've got to learn how to stretch our minds, stretch our expectations. I've said this for years, and I will continue to say it. God, no matter how you look at it, God, life, the universe, however you look at it, will only meet you at the level of your expectations. What are you expecting from life? What are you demanding from life? Life will give you whatever, or pay whatever price you demand of it, but life is going to also make a counter demand. And most people aren't willing to meet that demand. Most people aren't willing to sit up and say, okay, I'll do this in order to have that. We want it laid at our feet. We don't want to work for it. We don't want to have to invest for it. We don't want to have to do anything, but we want it. Let me tell you something. AI is opening a door. The people who get out in front of it are going to do some unbelievable and extraordinary things in being able to take the gifting, which is your way. What's Proverbs say? That your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. Hey, your gift is your way, but you're going to have to tap into it. You're going to have to nurture it. You're going to have to beat on your craft. You're going to have to grow stronger in it, and you're going to have to apply it. These instruments and technology, including the one I'm using now to talk to you, are simply that, instruments that allow you to expand your ability to do what it is you do. AI is no different. You just have to simply learn how to use it, other than just chatting with it and asking it silly questions or using it to do a test or whatever you might do. And whatever. It's so much more powerful when you understand it. And it is a big part of the way we are building and structuring Rick Wallace Enterprises and its subsidiaries like the Visionetics Institute, Master Fitness 21, the Odyssey Media Group, Myriad Business Solutions, and others. We are striving to do some unbelievable things to help people in multiple facets of life. And I want to help you pave your way. So what we're doing is we're taking the first 50 people, or to the end of this week, which is Saturday, we're going to take registration. The registration for the webinar is $197, but we're also giving you a $599 course, the 7-day online business launch course, so that when you attend this webinar and you see the opportunities, you will literally have an instrument in front of you that will help you build an online presence, so you can actually take advantage of one of the things that we're going to be sharing. So again, the link is in the description box. Go ahead and sign up, be one of the 50, and I will see you on the 30th as we hammer this thing out, as we talk. And I've got a real big surprise for you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. On the 30th, I'm going to select one person that I'm going to gift a platinum coaching package. So while I'm not working with, I've reduced the number of people I'm working with on a one-on-one basis. Those who actually invest in themselves will have a chance. So let's say all 50 slots are filled. That's a 1 in 50 chance to get a $14,995 package. That's what it costs to work with me for a year. So if you get there, that's a 1 in 50. If it doesn't fill up, that takes your chances of actually winning up. And I've done this before, probably once or twice a year in the past, but this is probably the only time I'm going to do it. And it just popped in my head. So it's not even in the description box, but you have this video as a record. I keep my word. If you sign up, you will be entered into a drawing to where you can, so one person is going to be selected as with the opportunity to work with me for an entire year. Look, it's up to you to take the reins of your life. We complain about all the things that are wrong in our lives, not realizing that we literally have the capacity to change it. Nothing is set in stone except that you're going to be born and that you're going to die. Everything else in between is negotiable by your energy, your efforts, your focus, your will, your commitment. And the thing is, are you willing to go the distance? That's the beauty of this thing. It's tied up into how far are you willing to go to have what it is you want to have? Are you willing to go the distance? Most people aren't. That's why you have this big box of average living around and going through life, just stagnant, average, mediocre, because they don't want to go the distance. Don't be the person who doesn't want to go the distance, because while it's challenging, while it's going to push you to the edges, why it's going to take so much, it's unbelievably rewarding. You can't imagine the reward that you get when you finish. So again, I invite you to be a part of it. Look in the description box, click that link, get signed up, come, let's do what it is. It should be the main link. And if the link, for whatever reason, is giving you problems, just go to the direct link where all you have to do is put in your information and pay and get set up. You'll get a welcome email from the support team telling you everything you need to know. And we are going to set it off. I'm excited about this. We're going to set it off and we're going to do this. And I'm going to, in other ways, provide support on the back end of this too for people who want to get started. So you're not just sitting there not knowing the next move. I'm going to provide back end support on this. I'm just still building that model out, but I'm definitely going to give you a way that you can tap in to understanding more. But we're going to sit there and have that conversation. After I teach you how to use it, we're going to have a Q&A. And you can tell me what it is you want to do, what your vision is, whatever. You don't have to have taken one step. We're going to hammer it out that day. We're going to sit down and we're going to take whatever time it is to hammer it out, because that's what needs to happen. We need to do that more. So on that note, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Thank you guys for letting me take a piece of your Sunday. I'm about to jump off and get back to what it is I need to do. And the link is in the description box. As I always say, I live my life on full each and every day so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I challenge you to do the same thing. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your Sunday.